always.
The National Unity Platform, the biggest opposition political party, has drawn a line in the sand. They want to break ties with rebel MPs. But is this about discipline or silencing dissenting voices? My guest tonight is the party's Vice President, Honorable Muwanga Kivumbi, also Member of Parliament for Butambala County. Good to have you. This is NBS Face Off. Let's begin with where you stand today as a party in terms of the 30-day ultimatum. Have you noticed any changes? Have any members of parliament come back to repent, ask for forgiveness?
Even this week, we came up with a new election management committee. We also came up with electoral roadmap. I don't think this is about rebels. It's about people who, on their own free will, decided to leave the party and either joined the NRM or started their own new formations, where they declared that in those new formations, they will, for all intent and purpose, field candidates, even where you have national. So these are people who deserted the cause, deserted the party, and went their own way. So there is no line being drawn in the sand. We are speaking about vacant positions where members who have national unity cards in parliament on their own free will decided to chart a new course. And we are saying in democracy is free entry and free exit. The party is going out of its way to reorganize, reorg, and move forward.
So as long as they either join another party or create different formations or join different formations, to you they cease to become members of the National Unity Platform?
It's rooted in common sense. You can't belong to Christianity and to Islam at the same time. But you are free to choose. So what we did at the 30 days timeline was that for all intent and purposes, we fall short and forgive and move forward. Because unity is so critical to advance our cause. We said, okay, before we make the ultimate call on them, can we give it a grace of 30 days? For those who think maybe they have any feeling they want a recourse, they are welcome. But for all intent and purposes, that declaration was forced on the party by members that deserted.
Some of these you exited Democratic Party with and joined or helped form the National Unity Platform. Have you had personal conversations with them? Because this goes beyond just the party. Have you had personal conversations with them to understand where they actually could have gone wrong?
Yeah, and I appreciate them. And I wish them good luck. We forget about what is happening now. This has been a build-up, not yesterday, not last year, for quite some time. So we've been having these conversations with some of them. They know some of us, our stand, and I know their stand. That's why I don't see a big deal why people who follow their conscience again raise a lot of dust on their march to where they feel comfortable. And there's no harm in that. The only thing is the party has a moral obligation, a constitutional duty to reorganize. And where you have vacated, not allow a vacuum, occupy that vacuum. That's what is happening. And the roadmap is out there.
Why do, at least for some people who are looking at these issues from the outside, looks like political purging?
It's not a purge. It's not a purge. Tell me. I don't want to go speaking.
We've interviewed some of them, like Joyce Bagala from Mitiana. She says she does not know what her crime is.
I wouldn't want to discuss individuals. But if you asked Joyce, when was the last time she participated in a political party activities? Nope. She's an all-powerful, she's our former minister for information and anti-corruption. She's the deputy chair of the Government Committee on Government Assurance. Even when the party, and the party has had some other critical decisions for which they have obeyed. For example, the party came up with when there was a censor motion for people to sign across the board. Some of these people refused to sign. But the party urged all members on all our platform that please, if you're a member of National Unity Platform, go out and sign for the censor of commissioners. Did they sign? Those who did not sign, the party said, can we relieve you of your duties? They disobeyed. Then you are not turning up for political work, for political activities. So what is more left for a party to do? So I think all of them, because we want to mention only Joyce, but if you read others, even with those who did not mention out, they simply deserted. They are deserters. And we wish them good luck. I don't see why there is a very big issue around people who are following their own conscience.
Is it written anywhere in your policy as the National Unity Platform that loyalty will be measured through participation in party activities?
No, but every party has its own guidelines. When you look at...
but where are these guidelines written
we have a constitution.
Yeah, but does it talk about loyalty?
Yes,
does it
loyalty,
talk about loyalty
yes,
and
very
party
critical. Very critical. And can I tell you a secret? When we were all elected, before we were sworn in, we went to Ginger for a retreat. That is 4 years ago. Each one single one of us pledged an oath of allegiance. Forget after election. Ask all of them. That oath was presided over by that time Deputy President, my brother, Matthias Mpuga, in Ginger. Ask any of them. Each one of us had to take an oath of allegiance and a pledge for anti-corruption. All of us, one by one, took and signed. That was in Ginger. Ask any of them. Because that is 4 years ago. We envisaged that will be the biggest challenge a young party will face. Do they want to go against the oath they took?
For the first 2.5 years, when Honorable Matthias Mpuga was the leader of opposition, there was indeed participation by all these members you're talking about, at least some of them. And what you're talking about, inactive, or rather not participating in party activities, just like 1.5 years ago.
Yeah.
How do you consider?
No. Yes, 1 year ago, when my brother was a leader of opposition, you know what happened thereafter? You don't need to tell the story. Along the line, there was a betrayal, but whose details I don't want to go into. For purposes, because one, these are comrades that have made a contribution. I really say even anything with a heart of stone. These were young, many years in the trenches, fighting for a better country. They have children that call us uncles. We know their mothers. We've buried our parents together. So much as they've gone, we want to leave them human, with a human face. And there are things we will not say. But a lot went under the bridge, and these new formations are being funded by some forces through a known lady that we know. But we've decided to keep quiet about that and move on. Because there are things we don't intend to speak to. Because we want to leave people respected as decent members of society. Because along the way, they've made a brick, they put a brick or a wall towards what we are and going forward. So we want to rest it at that point. And always saying, please allow the party reorganize. If need be, allow the party compete with you because you have left. What's wrong with that?
Let's take a break. When we return, how have other parties reconciled with the dissenting voices within them, as opposed to how NUP has chosen to deal with the same issue? NBS Face Off takes a break. We'll return in a bit.